Hi. James Hemings is the first American to train as a chef in France and introduces America to mac and cheese, meringue, and creme brulee. His origins are interesting as he was born into slavery in 1765. His ancestry is three-quarters white and he is half-brother of Martha, Thomas Jefferson's wife. Martha's father, John Wales, was widowed and Betty Hemings, a mulatto, became his concubine. They had 6 children together, and James was one of them. When Thomas married Martha, he became their enslaver. In 1784, Jefferson became the minister to France, and he decided to take James with him to be trained as a French chef. They spent several years while James studied. Thomas paid him $4 a month, which was less than his last chef, who was white. While studying, he apprenticed with pastry chefs and learned to speak French using his own money. When France abolished slavery, Jefferson became concerned that James may seek freedom, and the money used for chef training would be wasted. But James returns to New York with Jefferson to run the kitchen. On June 20th, 1790, Alexander Hamilton and James Madison attend a secret dinner at the home of Thomas Jefferson. They are to negotiate a compromise as Congress was deadlocked. Hemings cooked a meal that, according to Jefferson, was made to save the Union. The meal consisted of capon, chestnuts, root vegetables, and beef braised in red wine, accompanied by a sweet white wine, Hermitage. At the end of the meal, they reached a compromise. Alexander agreed to establish Washington as the capital, and James Madison agreed to the government absorbing states' debt. In 1791, James accompanied Jefferson and Madison on a month-long vacation touring the Northeast. He was even trusted to go ahead and book lodgings for the group. They returned to Philadelphia for 2 years, and Jefferson was ready to go home to Virginia. James didn't want to return to a slave state and negotiated his freedom with Thomas by promising to fully train his younger brother, Peter, to be a chef. He spends 2 years training him and gains his freedom in 1796. He is completely literate and can speak French upon departure. He travels back to Europe and eventually returns to the United States, where he settles in Philadelphia and works as a cook. In 1801, Jefferson offers James a position at the White House, which he declines because he has a position in Baltimore. Hemings returns to Virginia and works in his old kitchen for a month and a half, earning $30 before leaving. He returns to Baltimore, where he was working at a tavern. At 36, he committed suicide. Jefferson called it a tragical end. Being the only one free in your family must have been quite lonely. And I'll leave that.